It is up, everyone. This is Captain Eon speaking, and for today's share, I'd like to talk about the idea of invalids live. And this is really the combination of two scripture verses, the first being in chapter 4, verse 53, the second being in chapter 5, verse 3. I'm not sure if it's, what is the word? Not inevitable. If it's noticeable through my shares. But I confess to the fact that I don't see me the way that God sees me. For some that may be, duh, but this is something new to me, new revelation. But honestly, I don't really feel bad for this, because simply arriving at this conclusion for me, I believe, is proof of God leading me down a path of righteousness to grow in places where there could be none in my life. But in any case, I think in an effort to learn lowliness and meekness and humility, I often put myself in too low of a position. What stirred all this up today was when God was referring to the lame man as an invalid. Now that term isn't widely used and accepted anymore, but I do remember growing up that was a term. An invalid, disabled person, handicapped, those were terms being used. But regardless on whether or not it's culturally appropriate, this really spoke to me when I heard it. For every time I got to this position, this portion of my treatment today, this idea of me being invalidated by the curse of this original sin that I was born and inherited from Adam was really what was resonating with me every time I heard this term being used today. But oh, thank God, because just like the man who pled for his child, all God had to say was a word. He said the word to the lame man, the invalid, the invalidated one. I can only assume that they weren't considered really anybody's. They were just there. Some were lucky if they had someone that cared enough to see if they could meet their need by bringing them to the water. But all it took was a word in both instances today, and it was done. Amazing that God doesn't have to be in the same place. You never had seen him before, known about him. He is always in the place of need, and he's always there because he's always ready to meet that need. And I'm so grateful that he became his word, and he spoke the word once, only begotten it once, and it still speaks speaking and resonating throughout my life and all the rest of my fellow former invalids. Caption this. Transformed lives matter.